All right, official welcome to the Bold Momentum Summit 2025, day 2, part 1, because it's 9 something in the morning and we're just getting our party started. But you just came back from breakouts and we were talking about needing, identifying what support or systems or resources you need to be consistent. Who has something that they want to share that maybe they you need it, but you haven't pulled the trigger yet? Or maybe you're looking for the right resource. Does anyone have anything they want to share that maybe the wise women circle here in the larger group could help you find? Or is everyone going to be quiet?
Share
Jana,
that,
yeah.
yeah, Leah and I both, Paula, you'll be hearing from us. That's all I got.
Okay, awesome. Kelly, go ahead.
Yeah, with my VA business, I have been thrown into some apps that I don't know. And so I'm looking for like courses that I can take to get more familiar with these services that I'm not as familiar with. So I did get into one, but I haven't jumped into it really that much yet. But um, learning more about Go High Level, so I bug Paula less. And HubSpot is another one I want to learn. And then just getting better at things I already do.
Yeah, awesome. And have you looked at all the teaching platforms like School or Teachable? They're searchable, right? You can just go to their main website and find the people who are teaching on those things. You have to look for reviews and things like that to see if they're any good because don't know them. But I know School's really popular right now for communities and a lot of learning opportunities like that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Someone was just telling me the other day about using School for their community. And, we do the Gather community with our Facebook group, of course. And there's pros and cons to that. And so School is someplace where a lot of people are starting to build communities as well as many other places. So it's always an interesting learning experience on all of those different opportunities. Awesome. Welcome back, Chanel. Nice to have you here. Hi again. Okay, everyone. Are we excited for our first speaker of the day? Woo, I am. Okay, I mentioned her yesterday at the end of the day, especially when she arrived. Wait, where are you? There you are, over there. And I'm really excited to have Angela Wilson kick off our day today because Angela is a very inspiring speaker and mentor for me. And I can't wait to share her with all of you, whether you've met her before or not. What you want to know is that she's going to be talking about her topic. The title itself is Small, Bold, Unlimited. And I just love the idea of moving through your future with that kind of expansion. Don't you love that? I can't wait. She says, you get to choose small, bold, or unlimited. And of course, Angela's business is called Angela Unlimited. So we know where she's going with that. Angela, I'm super thrilled to have you start our day here on day 2 of the summit. Please, my friend, take it away.
Thanks, Tracy. I always love being with the Gather community. So, yep, Tracy just told you what the title was. Small, bold, unlimited. You get to choose. And now if you saw the documents that went out, there was a little subtitle in there. And that's, in the upcoming harvest season, are you reaching toward what you are desiring, or are you railing against what no longer fits? And you may have thought when you saw that, where's she going with this one? Well, we're going on an adventure today, ladies. That's what we're going to do. And it's really talking about, are we living small? Are we living bold? Or are we living unlimited? Because you get to choose which one of these that you want to live. Because here's the truth, my friends. It is you get to choose, and you get to re-choose all the time. The past doesn't dictate our future, or our next chapter, or today doesn't dictate any of them either. In every moment of every day, you get to choose. I recently read this quote, and I'm going to read it to you. And it is, you are on the leading edge of thought, taking thought beyond that which has been before. Who cares what thoughts have led up to this? You're standing in the fresh, and many of the thoughts that you have vehemently opposed are the very thoughts that have given you the desire, that have attracted the clarity of where you are now. No matter how awful you think they may have been, all were of value in the evolution forward, every one of them. That's an Abraham Hicks quote. And when I read it, it really struck me because it is exactly what I'm talking about. Our thoughts that we had yesterday, they don't dictate where we're going forward, because guess what? Today's a new day. And we get to choose those thoughts. And we don't have to stay attached to the old ones that are no longer serving us. Just like we no longer have to choose to play small if we have been. It's up to you. You might be thinking, just a minute, that seems a little too simple. I can't go from playing small in my life to being bold in my life to being unlimited in my life. And the answer is, guess what? Yes, you can. If you desire to choose to create that journey for yourself, you can absolutely do it. So let's talk about what I mean about playing small. And when I say playing small, that's living small as well. They're the exact same thing. And that is when we're holding ourselves back. We're staying in that lovely little comfy comfort zone. We're not doing anything that really has us stepping out to take any risks. And, we may also be thinking, who am I to do this? Well, my question really is, if that's a thought in your mind, who are you not to do this? You are the exact right person. So other thoughts that surround, playing small in our lives is really, okay, so, look how well everyone else is doing in their business or their life. I can't compete with them, and I'm not doing as well as them. And gee, I really don't want to admit that out loud. So you don't, and you don't really go where you want to go, and you don't really do what you're here to do, and you're doing it all because of fear and judgment. These are examples of living small. If you've heard me talk anywhere, you've heard me say this before. We were not put on this earth to play small. You are meant to live the life of your the most wild, abundant dreams that you could possibly imagine. That's what you're here to do. So you might be asking yourself at this point, really, I'm not really sure that's possible. I don't know what that looks like. And I don't really kind of know what that means. Here's the deal. You've been conditioned by society to not want more or desire more. Perhaps when you were wanting more, you were told you're being greedy, you're being ungrateful, you don't deserve it, and you don't have what it takes. And I'm going to tell you right now, none of those were true. There was a time in my life several years ago that I was told all the time, you're never happy with anything, because I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're here. And I got this, and I'm doing this, and oh, look at over there. I want to go over there now. I want more. I want to go more. I want to do more. I want to be more. And that was interpreted back to me that I was unhappy and I was ungrateful. So do you know what I did? I did this. I went, oh, okay. Oh, okay. I guess I shouldn't do that then. And I became small and I contracted. That's not what I'm here to do. Wanting and desiring more is natural. It's one of the most natural things there is, because it's part of growing, it's expanding and evolving. Why wouldn't we want more than living small? Why wouldn't we want to live a bold life? What could that look like? I know a number of the speakers that were speaking to you yesterday and that will speak to you today, and their messages are about living and having business that really lights you up, and that you're going after and going after the next level and going after the next steps and achieving more. It's all about, bold. That's what it is. Living bold. You're taking action, you're taking risks, and you're making choices to move beyond the comfort zone and to reach toward your best self. Doesn't that sound way more amazing to live? Doesn't that make you want to get out of bed in the morning? It does for me. I know that. So let's take one more step, because I believe you're here for even more than bold. I believe you are here to be unlimited. This is one of the reasons I called my company Angela Unlimited, so I could remind myself every day with every email, every time I talk to somebody about what I do, that I'm unlimited. And you're unlimited as well. I know this because it is the way we all came into this world. We came in bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, with no limits. Sparkly little ones that played, had fun, imagined, dreamed. We didn't know we couldn't do things. If we did, we would have never learned to walk or talk. So when I say you can dream your dreams, go after them, and then make them come true, I believe this to be true. Just like I know you can all walk and talk. The issue is, at some point in our younger lives, we developed doubts and didn't believe that we could do this anymore. And therefore, many of us took on that as a truth. This is why I really wanted to talk to you today about small, bold, and unlimited. You get to choose, because all of this starts with you and the choices you make every day, in every minute. And here is what I also know to be true. Tomorrow's a new day, a new dawn, and we get to make other choices. There is nothing carved in stone. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 10 days ago, 10 hours ago, 10 minutes ago. I get to choose in this moment and use these fresh eyes I have now to make choices, to gain more clarity, and to go after my dreams. We are at the perfect time of the year to be talking about this. And when I say go after your dreams, you know, it's interesting because yesterday, as Tracy said, I bounced in at the end of the day because I had a whole pile of stuff that was happening, but I really wanted to make sure that I came in so I could see the beautiful women that were on the screen. And I came right in at the end. Stephanie had been talking about her, about travel and what have you. And then we went into breakout rooms, and I bounced into Stephanie's room. And when we were in there, we were talking about different types of travel. And Gina mentioned about going. One of the things she would love to do is go to Africa. And Stephanie gave her some tips, and I was like, oh, this is so perfect. Because that was one of my dreams a few years back. I wanted to go to Africa. And my situation at that point, that was not going to happen. Situations changed. As I said, nothing is carved in stone. So, situation shifted, and I was like, maybe I could do this. But then I thought, oh, what about the money? I don't know the people that I'm potentially traveling with. I could have thrown up 100 roadblocks. And then I had one little wise soul that is in my life that I love dearly, my amazing nephew, Dan. And he went, Annie, of course you can. And I went, well, yeah, I guess I can. And off I went to Africa. I figured it out. The money came. I figured out how to get there. I figured out all of the things that were put in my way because I made the choice of this is something I truly want and truly desire. Things lined up. At that same time, that's right when the love of my life came into my life. And I got to share that whole experience and tell him all about it, which was fantastic. And then 2 years ago, we went to Africa again because I wanted to go back with him so he could experience it. And so that was another dream. And I made it happen again. I wasn't sure where the money was. I wasn't sure of any of it, but I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And we figured it out and we made it work. And I also got to share it with two dear friends who I've been friends with since I was a little girl, which made it even more special. Your dreams can come true if you choose. And it all comes down to choosing. And as I said, this is the perfect time of the year for this conversation because we're headed into the harvest season. That's if we're in the Northern Hemisphere. I think we all are on this call, but sometimes I'm on calls that we're not all. So this is the beautiful time because now you can spend some time and really think about what would you like to harvest from what you've planted and cultivated over the last year. I want you to think about 5 things that you would love to carry forward and engage in more. What's been working well? What has really spoken to your heart? What are your dreams? We don't spend enough time here. We spend a lot of time looking at the things of, what isn't working? What else should we be doing? And oh my gosh, I should be posting 4 times a week. I should be talking to 40 people so that I can get 10 new clients. I should be. We do this because we want our businesses and lives to be successful, to have meaning and to go after what we desire. But sometimes we're doing this to fit in and to do what we've been told to do. We've all been there, and so have I. So how can we reach any of these milestones we want to reach, go after our dreams, if we don't know what they are? So I'm inviting you this harvest season to really think about it. This will set you up so that your Q4 is amazing. This will set you up for 2026 being outstanding. It's about shifting from, if you are playing a bit small, to shifting to bold and really shifting to unlimited. So my giveaway will lead you through a process to gain clarity, and I'm also here to support you. You can reach out. The other thing that happens with a harvest is the debris gets discarded. This is what the farmers called separating the wheat from the chaff. That is the other part of this harvest process. What are the 5 things that you are no longer willing to give your energy away to? Well, that might be a really scary thought for some of us. What are you willing to leave behind and no longer entertain? Because here's the deal. You can't go after your dreams if you're tethering yourself, holding yourself in place with your old habits that no longer serve. Think about it this way. If you're driving your car with 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake, you're not going anywhere fast. So you're not going towards your dreams. Now you might be thinking, well, I'm not holding on to anything. And I would say, oh, wow, that is so amazing. You must be living your unlimited life in all of its glory. I think if I was to pose that question right now, the question, who here is living their unlimited life? I don't think I'd have any hands put up. Now, if I ask the question, who here is living their bold life, because I know a number of you are, Absolutely. And I know hands would go up. So how do we shift from bold to unlimited? It's about gaining awareness of our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, and what's going on inside. What stories are you holding on to? When we start reaching for our dreams and stop railing against our present and or our past, that's when we can start the shift from bold to unlimited. So what do I mean by reaching as opposed to railing? So here's an example for you. One of the things that I'm working on is I have this dream to be in great health so that I can say yes to any adventure that comes my way that I want to say yes to. So I don't want to have to hesitate. If somebody says, hey, Angela, can you hop on a plane and meet me in Paris and do this, that, and the other thing, my answer can be yes. If it's, oh, can you meet me here and we're going to do this great, huge hike, maybe it's the through Spain, wherever, I can say yes, because it's something I want to do. Or if it's something I don't want to do, obviously I can say no. But I want to have the health to be able to not have to then go through all the mental gymnastics of why I can't do this, all the excuses I have to make up, blah, 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 blah. So it's a dream to be just so free to be able to do that. So if I'm reaching toward this, I'm making choices that move me closer to that dream. And I'm embracing what that vision really looks like. And then what happens is that dream becomes really achievable in the future because I'm taking steps toward it and I'm choosing it. So when I go, let's say I go out for dinner and I choose to have this beautiful salad with a lovely chicken breast or steak with it, I'm choosing me, I'm choosing my health, I'm choosing my future. However, if instead I'm railing against it, what I'm actually doing is I'm tethering myself. So I'm railing against, so think of it this way. I'm looking at my dream. When I'm looking at my dream, I'm going, oh, I want that because I'm so uncomfortable. I don't like the way my clothes fit. I don't like the way I sit in my chair. You can come up with all kinds of things. That pushes your dream further and further out because I'm actually not going after my dream. I'm tethering myself into that unwanted. This holds me in place, and actually, I'll be honest with you, that's where I've been for a little while because my awareness just really got into that spot of railing as opposed to reaching and going after my dream. And when that awareness came in, and boy, it came in so clear, you wouldn't have believed it. And it was that, whew, and I went, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is what I've been doing. And when I made that shift, do you know what happened? Things started lining up. All of a sudden, it was like, hey, Angela, do you want to do this? Hey, Angela, do you want to go out bike riding? Hey, Angela, do you want to? And I kept getting tapped on the shoulder with all of these things that could help me actually reach toward my dream. And one of those actually also is 2 potential trips coming up. One next May, and actually it is to Paris, but potentially we'll also be bicycling through part of wine country. We haven't decided 100% on what that is yet. And then the other one that came up since that is next fall, potentially going to the Amalfi Coast in Italy, which I've always wanted to do. But in my head, not my heart, because my heart knows I can do it. In my head was going, oh my gosh, I can't walk that. I can't. Yes, I can. Because I'm now choosing to reach for that dream. I'm choosing to go after it as opposed to really tying into the negatives of going forward. So for me, one of the pieces of debris that I'm going to be leaving behind this harvest is railing. And I am choosing to carry forward with my reaching for my dreams and holding them so vividly in my heart that I know that they're going to come to fruition. Will it happen overnight? Some of them might. A couple of them have. Will they happen a year from now? Potentially, because that's exactly the way they happen. But here's the thing that I know for a fact. They will not happen if I continue to tether. So if you continue to hold on to the old that's holding you back and allowing you to play small, you can't go after your dreams. You can go after them. It's not going to happen though. And again, it's almost like a tug of war, right? It's your foot on the gas and your foot on the brake. You're not going anywhere fast. They'll eventually come, but it's not going to be the beautiful opening that I know is here for you all. So these are 3 reminders that I really want you to get out of my conversation with you today. And that is, first, you get to choose whether you live small, bold, or unlimited. I really hope, my sincere hope for you today is that you make the decision to open to more and to really start that journey toward your unlimited life. Myself and my clients have moved more and more toward that every single day, and I can tell you it's amazing. And the reason I say more and more every single day, because this is a journey. We're never one and done. Just like I said, it's natural to want more. So it's natural to want to progress on your journey. So please go after it. The second one is, what are the 5 things that you're going to carry forward with you from this harvest season? And what are the 5 that you're going to leave behind? Please don't forget to grab my free gift and walk through the process, because it's a set of journaling prompts that take you along the way. You can do it all at once, or you can do it a bit at a time. It's your choice, but it really does help you gain that clarity of where you're holding yourself back. And until we gain that clarity, our subconscious is sneaky, and it sits back there going, I'm holding this. Just like little kids in the playground, na 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 na, right? It does that same sort of thing. So you want to gain that awareness. So make sure that you do go through the process. And then the third thing is, make the choice to reach toward your dreams and stop railing against the present or the past. You will be amazed at what starts to line up for you when you make this shift. So I will leave you with a few thoughts. First of all, you learn to walk and you learn to talk, and you can definitely do anything you choose to do today. Let today be the beginning or the further opening for you to go after whatever it is you truly dream of. I would really invite you to write those dreams down and to have them so vivid that when you close your eyes, you can see them. If you can't see them because that's not the way you operate, that you can sense them. And make sure you get that feeling in there. And revisit them, because your dreams are going to change. Because as I said, fresh eyes. Fresh eyes make it that now you get to see it from a different standpoint. So really play with that, because life, my friends, it's all about playing. And that's in our breakout room. I was asked, what's your fourth quarter look like? And you know what? My fourth quarter is, it's a lot of play and fun. Because what I've realized is when I'm not playing and having fun, nothing gets done properly. Because then I'm not authentic. Then I'm not in my heart. Then I'm not coming from that space. And also, if I'm not doing those things, I'm not showing up for my clients. in the way that I desire to show up for my clients. I'm here to live, and I want all my clients to live that life that they desire, that life they want to create, because that's what we're here for. So don't hold yourself back by thinking that any dream is too grand. If I had a thought well, I did think for a second that Africa was too grand, but it wasn't, because I knew that that was somewhere that I would go. And trust me, I'm going back again, because my heart just sings when I'm on that continent. It's beautiful. When you think that something is too grand, it is because that is the little voice back here that is railing. And it really is time to leave that behind, because I know we all have so much more inside of us. And I know we are all here for great things. We're in this community because we want to build, we want to be more. And now we get to choose to reach for all of it and truly start living our unlimited lives. Come talk to me in the breakout room, and let's get the journey started. Like, really, it's time. Reach out to me, book a connect call if you'd like some support on the journey to your unlimited life, because here's the thing. You don't have to do it alone, and I'm here to help. And I say that because the other piece of what we were talking about in our breakout room was, what support do I want going forward? And my answer was community, because I know when you get in community, it builds you, because now you're with beautiful, like-minded people that are here to expand forward and to really embrace life. That's my mission on this planet, and I know it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And that's why I'm here to help. And we can all help each other. I am so incredibly honored to have been with you this morning. And I believe truly, truly from the bottom of my heart, we are all meant for greatness. So let's shift, because I don't think any of us want to play small anymore at all, not even for a nanosecond. So let's really dig into the bold and shift into the unlimited. Thanks so much, ladies.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I looked at your free gift from the resources page and downloaded it. Well, I did download it. I opted into it, so it's still on my screen. It's not downloaded, but I love it. Yesterday we were doing something and people were asking about prompts. Well, it's a whole collection of prompts, right? To help us to get out of our own way in having these thoughts, right? When you have those prompts given to you. So Angela, thank you so much for that tool. I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, I'm excited. So thank you so much. I don't know about anyone else. Who else is amped up now to think about what's next? Anyone want to share anything specific? Leah, go ahead. And then Gina.
I mean, there's just so much stuff. I'm vibrating, to be honest with you.
Right?
But for me, the whole point of tethering really struck me, because it's almost
like a leash.
Yeah, it's involuntary. You think it's not you doing it. There's a subconscious level that you're tethering at.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's holding on to safety, but not feeling safe at the same time. And there's just so many things going on. So I'm really going to sit down and try to sit in that and figure out what it is that I'm afraid of, so that I can move forward, because clearly I've been driving with one foot on the brake and one foot on the gas for a really long time. So thank you.
So good. So good. Took the words right out of my mouth, my friend. Gina.
Yeah, I'm having this was a synchronicity for me just now, that Angela mentioned that yesterday I had this idea of taking my kids to Africa. And of course, it's all about the money, right? Which is a mindset. And now I'm like, you know what? The fact that you brought that up to me is a synchronicity that, yes, I'm taking my kids to Africa next summer. I don't know how it's going to happen yet. Stephanie, I don't know if you're on the call. I don't see her at the
She's
moment.
here. She's here.
Is she okay? I don't see her. Okay. I'm going to be getting in touch with Steph. Oh, there you are. And to see how I can make that work. So thank you, Angela. It was just a very personal,
it.
like, yes, Gina, go do this thing. So thank you.
Yay! Love it. Well, and like I said, I knew that Angela was going to be a great way to kick off our second day here. So thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you. Terry.
Thank you, Angela.
Terry.
Well, I love Angela, but the whole time she was talking, I couldn't stop smiling. So that's like her energy. I like to meet people in person because I feel their vibe, but I felt her vibe 100% that she lives this, she's authentic. And I couldn't stop smiling. My cheeks hurt.
Love it. Love it. Venetia.
Angela, it really resonated with me when you were saying that you wanted to be in your best health, to be always ready for an adventure. Like you want to be able to go to the Amalfi Coast, go hiking and do all these things. And what I really enjoyed was the message you sent that I should never feel that anything is too grand. I should just go for it if I want to do it.
Yes. Awesome. Venetia, thank you so much for sharing. Okay. That is the end of our sharing for this moment. If you want to give Angela more feedback, you can go to her breakout room. But before we have breakout rooms, we've got another amazing presentation ahead of us, because coming up now is our favorite mother-daughter team, Kelly and Terry from Fearless Generations. Of course, they're our only mother-daughter team, but they're still my favorite mother-daughter team. And I know lots of mothers and daughters. Kelly and Terry, I'm so excited for you guys. You guys are going to be, the topic technically is how do you boldly step into the unknown? But what I know about what you're sharing is the risk formula. And I love the risk formula because it's all about taking risks to go after what you want and go in the direction Angela was just talking about and all of that. So for everyone who hasn't done this already, I want you to go to the resources page, which Paula just posted a second ago, and find the handout under Kelly and Terry's picture, because you're going to want to reference it, even if you don't print it out. And Paula just put the PDF in the chat as well. So either way, grab that document so that you can follow along. They're going to guide you through the risk formula so that you can boldly step into the unknown. Kelly and Terry, I'm going to spotlight you. Spotlight. Where's Terry? There she is. Add spotlight. There we go. Okay, my friends, take it away.
Hello, good morning. We're so excited to be here with you. You can tell Terry's excited, her eyebrows are up. All right. So, and so we are very excited to talk to you today and talking about stepping into the unknown, and everything Angela said just really we're taking this and we're running with it now. She's passed the baton, and we're excited to continue this thought of stepping out into risk. And how do we do that? How do we support ourselves in that? Because it's not always easy to step out of that comfort zone, right? So how can we support ourselves in doing that? And we're going to share some tools with you today. We're all about sharing the tools, so that you can take those steps a little easier, and with more confidence. So as Tracy said, we are going to talk about the risk formula today, but we're going to start off with some things maybe you've already heard us talk about, but we're going to talk about them a little bit more. So we're going to be talking about intention, which you've heard us talk about, acknowledgements, and how both of those help us to step into risk. So Terry, why don't you start us off with talking about intentions?
Sure, be happy to. And I want to thank all the speakers that have spoken prior to us, because yesterday in our breakout room, we were talking about how, the truth is the truth. And that's what we've heard this whole time is you live in the moment, you have choices. Fear keeps us from doing those things that we dream about doing. And I took copious notes yesterday of all the wonderful things that we heard. And intention is actually a wonderful way to eliminate complaining. Now, I don't know if you ever complain, but it's wonderful to be able to have intentions and move forward in your life. So right now, something that's important that we're changing is, and I was a school teacher for 40 years, so every time school time comes around, I get nervous. Even now, I've been retired from teaching for 20 years. I have these dreams if I end up at school in the morning with no clothes on, or I walk into my classroom and there's nothing there. And it's just like, it's embroiled in me, this fear around the first day of school. So my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren all started school this last week, and that's a change. And it's a change for all of us. As parents, we send our kids off to school. Sometimes it's a relief, sometimes it's a fear. Kelly sent her second daughter off to Germany to go to school this year, and that was a big step for her, which I know brought up fear. So when there's change in our life, one of the things we can do is embrace intentions rather than worrying about having expectations, because sometimes we expect things to be a certain way, and that just brings us frustration. So intentions, and Angela, I'm so happy you brought out the concept of your health, because that's the intention I always share with my clients, is my intention for my health, because my intention is to have abundant energy. I know most of you know that I'm in the last act of my life. I'm 80 years old. And so I want to be healthy. I want to be vibrant. I want to be able to enjoy my grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I want to be able to take walks, hikes, do all kinds of things. So my intention, rather than having expectations that I'll live healthy in the long life, is I have an intention, and that is that I will have abundant energy. And in order for me to have abundant energy, I have habits. And so that's my intention. I'm willing to practice habits that will bring me abundant energy. That's my intention. And I have 5 habits that I work on. And so those are the 5 habits that help me to stay full of energy. And that is that I exercise daily, I eat good foods, I take my supplements, I get enough sleep, and I don't eat after 8 o'clock. That's the hardest one to do, but that helps me to sleep, helps me then to have energy in the morning, to get up at 5 o'clock and go walk. So it all is a wonderful cycle that intention is now embroiled or in my bones. I'm going to live that intention in order to have abundant health and energy. So intentions just bring us to those natural transitions in our life where we're changing. For me, that's my intention, to not have expectations around aging. And it helps me then to not have fear. As I live that intention each day, it gives me energy and hope, and I move forward. So they're different from goals. They actually guide how we want to show up. Are we going to show up bold, or are we going to show up, and I can't remember the word now, but infinite? I'll use the word infinite, infinite energy, that Angela talked about, that there's possibilities in every choice that we make. And yes, unlimited, that's kind of like infinite. So that's a synonym. Okay, so it's just intentions interrupt the fear, and they create a path to be present in the moment. And for me, it gives me peace and inner joy. So I think, and that's just an example of one intention, but that one is the one I usually share, because most people can relate to having habits and goals that will lead to an intention of abundant energy.
Yeah. Intentions can be similar to affirmations. And affirmations are good, but they need action to go along with them. And so intention is that way of us taking action. It's also a way for us to practice. It's a way for us to be in that beginner mindset, to let go of the perfectionism, and to be able to practice these daily things that we have for ourselves to support us to show up the way we want to show up. So my overarching intention is to trust myself daily, to trust myself more every day, because that's where I get tripped up, is when it comes to trusting myself. So what are different ways that I trust myself? Well, there's different ways every day. And the way that I keep track of those is I acknowledge myself. So we encourage all of our clients to write at least 5 acknowledgements a day. They start with, today I am willing, or no, That's a different one. That's the intention. Today, I acknowledge myself for. And I'd love to have someone come off mute and tell me a risk that they took today. Is someone come?
I'll go. I was gonna do a Facebook Live, so I was ready to do it before the event, but which I've never done. But
Awesome.
I couldn't get the camera to work, so I'm gonna have to do it. I figured it out now. I'm gonna do it after the summit though, but I was gonna go do a Facebook Live this morning for the first time.
Awesome. I love that, Gina. And I love how you said it too, because a lot of the times we can get stuck in, well, Gina didn't actually do the Facebook Live, right? But she wanted to do it. She did several steps to get prepared to do it. And those are still those are still things that are valid and important to acknowledge. We don't have to wait until we complete the step to acknowledge ourselves. We can acknowledge ourselves with every choice point. And that's one thing that I love to say, because when we have a thought that's different from a thought that we've had before, that is something to acknowledge ourselves for. When we take any type of action on that thought, that is something to acknowledge ourselves for. Every time we continue to choose to stay along that path, it's something that we can acknowledge ourselves for. And so a lot of the times we build up this list of criteria that this risk has to, fall under before we can allow ourselves to acknowledge ourselves for something. Like it has to be this big or this important or this far out of our comfort zone, but it really doesn't. If it takes extra energy to do, you can acknowledge yourself for it. All right. Even if you've done it before, even if it's getting out of bed. Okay. Because sometimes it takes more energy to get out of bed in the morning than other days. And I know I'm not alone in that, right? So it can be something as simple, but it's something that you can acknowledge yourself for. And what comes from acknowledging yourself for these actions, for these thoughts, for these feelings, is that you gain confidence. You see all the things that you are doing instead of focusing on the things that you haven't done yet. So it helps us to then take more risks easier, because we slowly expand that comfort zone. And like Angela was saying, those dreams, right? As that comfort zone expands, those dreams can expand. Because as our comfort zone gets bigger, we can see further out. We can see further away from where we are. And so bigger dreams and possibilities become now in our view. And that's what we want, right? That's what we want for ourselves. We want to dream. We want to see. We want to make things possible. We want to step into those possibilities, those opportunities. And risk is where that happens. Taking those risks.
So I think we could go to the risk formula now, so we don't run out of time before we get through all of it. So I think one of the ideas that a lot of my clients have difficulty wrapping their heads around is the first, what R stands for in the acronym, and that is release attachment to the outcome. As an educator, that was something I had to really wrap my head around, because my outcome was a kid learned how to read, right? And I was pretty attached to that. But in our lives, really living fearlessly means taking risks without needing the result of those risks to be set in stone and to look a certain way. So that takes a lot of courage. It takes trust. And I think everyone has talked about that so far during this amazing summit, is that when we release our attachment to the outcome, it actually frees us to be open to any unanticipated opportunity and a potential outcome. And I think that is an amazing way to live your life in the moment. I was telling my son the other day, I don't know how many of you, in the old days when I used to read the comics in the newspaper on Sunday, There was an artist, his name was Keane, and it was little people in a circle. I don't know if you remember that, but he was saying it was about living in the moment. He said, the past is gone, the future is not known, and we live in the present. That's why it's a gift. And that, so the present is our gift. Everybody's talked about it. Angela talked about it a lot today, this morning. You know, we're living in the present moment. We don't need to be attached to a specific outcome. We need to live our lives choice by choice, acknowledging our growth and becoming something different than we were 10 minutes before or 10 seconds before. That's the outcome. Is our growth is the outcome, our capacity to dream, our capacity to stretch our comfort zone, our capacity to take risks. So releasing attachment to a specific outcome can help us to be more bold and limitless in our attempts to grow.
Yes, Rhonda says something that can kind of upset people sometimes is to invest in everything and attach to nothing. And so the I in risk is invest in your intention. Now we just talked about intentions, and if you intentions can be sometimes you kind of need to talk about them more than once to really understand them, to really hone them down, and make them something that you can implement on a daily basis. So if any of you would like support with that, please reach out to Terry and I, and we would love to take a moment and walk you through creating a personal intention for yourself. But it's really getting clear on how you really want to show up and then invest in that. We talk about being authentic and aligned. Who do we really want to be? How do we really want to show up? And how can we invest in being that person and showing up as that person?
Yeah, and I think for me, when I first I didn't really come to living a life of freedom and understanding and embracing my fears until I started writing intentions, where the beginning of the intention is I am willing to practice. Now, I don't know about you, but when I started to say I need to do that, instead I started saying I'm not going to try to do that, I'm going to practice, my whole body relaxed. I had this visceral reaction to I am willing to practice. I have it every time I say it. My heart just kind of softens, and it's like I take a big breath of fresh air when I say I am willing to practice rather than I have to, I need to do something. And so that's where intentions give us that space to practice, that space to discover, that space to grow and learn and be open. So that's what I love about writing intentions. I have an overarching intention for my life, and then I have specific intentions. In fact, I write a daily intention in my journal when I write my gratitudes and acknowledgments, because it's that helpful to me to be able to say, today I'm willing to practice. And then I more than willing to practice. That's how you get better, right? That's how you learn how to play pickleball, practice. So it's important. I think that's a very important part of intention. And that's what we'd be more than willing to meet with any of you to help you to develop some intentions so that feel powerful and enable you to be limitless.
Yes, yes. All right. So the S in risk is for stand for truth. And this, I mean, these all build on each other, right? So if you are in alignment with yourself, if you're living an authentic life, if you know what your values are, you're going to be able to stand for that truth, to stand for that bold life, that dream, that purpose that you've been given, the message that you've been given to share with the world. Because as Angela was saying, I too believe that we all have a purpose. We all have something we came here to do and to share with each other. Every one of us is important. And so we need to share that truth that we've been given. We need to share that light that we've been given and stand for the truth that we have to share with others. And you can see that today, Angela boldly stood and shared her truth with us. The speakers yesterday as well. They boldly stood and shared their truth, and we all gained from it, correct? And
Yeah,
hopefully,
certainly.
and I believe that, Terry and I standing here, well, I'm sitting, but standing here today for you, as well as the speakers that are coming after us, Tracy for our community, we're all having that part where we stand for the truth.
Yeah. And it takes courage to do that. And it's a risk to do that. Especially if we're standing for a truth that is, for me, I mean, most of you know that I work in my city, and my truth is to work for the homeless. Well, there's a lot of people who don't like that. And I have to be very courageous and stand for that truth, even when I'm being persecuted on Facebook or whatever comes up that, people, that's just the part of being in public life, right? But I'm not going to step down. That's my truth. I was told by my higher power to do that. And by gosh, I'm going to do it. And so I'm going to stand for that truth. That's who I am. And I'm going to do that in the light of controversy, in the light of discouragement. It's not going to break me down because that's my truth. And that risk is worth taking because that's my truth.
Yeah. And I think it's also important to challenge, and I keep referring to Angela, but, she talks about what you're going to let go of, right? Those 5 things that you're going to let go of. Challenge those limiting beliefs. Challenge those excuses that come up. Challenge your voice of fear and say, is this really true, or am I making it up?
Yeah.
As my favorite tool of fearless living. Is this true, or am I making it up? And if you're guessing anything, if you're fabricating anything, it's not true. So, challenge that. What is the truth of you? And stand for that.
Yeah.
So the K is keep kindness a priority. And, that's those acknowledgments are going to help with that too, because acknowledgments are the antidote to beating yourself up. And so how can you be kind to yourself? If you're a perfectionist, how can you give yourself some flexibility, some leeway, some love, some compassion as you take these risks? Are you allowing yourself to be a beginner? Are you allowing yourself to learn, to say, okay, that way didn't work out, let me try it another way? And to do that as many times as you need to. Are you speaking to yourself kindly? Would you ever talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself? Or would you talk to your child, the way you would talk to yourself? Right? Like,
Yeah.
be nice to yourself.
Yeah. One of the things that we do with our clients, and I was going to show you, but I don't think I have it here. Oh yeah, I do. When we're talking about being kindness and having compassion for yourself and self-love, which has also been talked about. Gina did an amazing job talking about the importance of self-love. But in the front of my calendar, I have this. Now,
Isn't she cute?
that's me when I was a little 4-year-old girl. Whenever I start to beat myself up or have self-limiting negative thoughts like Jana was talking about, I can look at that little girl and say, would I say that to her? Would I think that she's not enough? Would I think that she's not, capable of doing this, that she's too old to do this? No, I wouldn't. And that really helps me to reframe that kindness by looking at that little picture of myself as a little girl. And I have another one in another bedroom that I'll look at it occasionally, because it just, again, that I get that visceral response of relief, where it's like a deep breath of fresh air, and my heart softens and my body relaxes. And when I apply compassion to myself, it helps me to have kindness as a priority for others as well. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that helps with those acknowledgments as well, right? When I was talking about how we can sometimes give ourselves that criteria when we're being kind to ourselves, that lessens, right? And we're able to acknowledge ourselves for those smaller steps as well. Okay, so it's going to go through here with some things that you can do to help yourself with your awareness level, right? Awareness is the first step to change. And so take yourself through this process. Ask yourself these questions. This could probably go hand in hand with Angela's handout or other handouts that you've gotten, to really up your awareness around where are those attachments? What is your intention? What do you want to practice? What are those, maybe those half truths or limiting beliefs that you've been holding on to that you're now ready to let go of. And how are you with being kind to yourself, and what would be possible if you were just a little bit more kind, right? If you were just a little bit more kind, what could be possible? So definitely take the time to go through this. If you have any questions as you go through or would like support any point of the way with going through it, please reach out to us. We love supporting people. We love being there for people and supporting them in their process of moving through their fear and becoming more familiar with their fear. And able to calm it down when it gets excited. Because when your fear gets excited, that means that you're growing. It means that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and it's starting to freak out. I like to think of fear. Sometimes people get mad at their fear. They think it's this evil person trying to keep them from their best life. I look at fear as a helicopter mom. It is hovering over you, trying to make sure that you're safe and that you don't get hurt and that nothing bad happens to you.
Yeah, Gina
Right?
talked about that yesterday too. Gina brought that up about, fear, it's going to tell you the things that you can't do because it's trying to keep you safe. And when you understand that, then it's okay. All right, I'm going to walk down this path with you. I'm going to do it anyway, but thank you so much for trying to keep me safe.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes when we're stepping out of our comfort zone, it is, well, a lot of the times it's scary, right? Especially when we're doing even bigger steps out of our comfort zone. It's going to be scary, right? Like Gina taking the bull by the horns is going to do this first Facebook Live, right? There probably were several steps that led her to the ability to get on and do it, right? And each one of those baby steps counted, right? And she's going to do her first, and that's going to make her second easier.
So true. So true. Yeah. So I don't know what our time frame is because I never pay attention to it. But Tracy, are we about
4 minutes?
4 minutes.
All right.
Okay. So
I had
questions?
a timer all set and then didn't push play. So
like mother, like daughter.
Yep. We really can talk about this forever. So, but we would love to be supporting you. We have in-person workshops this year and we'll continue that into next year. So if you ever want to come to California, or you already live here, please check in with us. We'd love to have you come to one of our in-person workshops. We actually have our massively awesome retreat coming up next month. So if you're interested in that, please reach out. We have a monthly membership though, where we bring you a tool every month, and we walk you through it. Twice a month, we meet together to go over this tool, to walk you through it, to support you. And so if any of you are interested in that, we have a discount going on just for our Gather community that we can set you up with, and you can get some fearless energy going twice a month, and also you have access to us all the time. But
And your membership thing is all online.
yeah, it's all through Zoom. Yeah.
Amazing. I love it. Thanks for recapping all of those things too, because you guys have been making some changes, and I wanted to make sure everyone knew exactly where everything stands. So you're right. There's a lot of us that are here in California or would love to come to California for your in-person stuff, retreats / workshops, but the online membership is so valuable too, because it's a continuation, it's a community, it's an ongoing process as well. So I love that you guys are still doing that. Thank you. Amazing, right? This vibration that Leah mentioned earlier has not stopped. I'm very, very thrilled to have gotten to have you. I'm trying to find the spotlight stuff to have you guys share this formula, and thank you for going through it all. You're right. The prompts are supportive. Why is this not working? Oh, there it is. The prompts are a great, combination between what Angela started with and what you guys continued with. This is an amazing day of getting things going. And honestly, I know who's coming up, and we're going to have more of the same, really reaching into what is it that that we're holding ourselves back, that's dying to get out of, that we're holding inside us. So I'm thrilled, so thrilled. Thank you, Kelly and Terry, for all of that. And they were talking about getting in touch with them and reaching out. I want to make sure that you all know that if you are trying to find any of our VIPs in the community, whether it's our creators who are speaking here today or not speaking here today, or our VIPs who have taken the opportunity to be a part of our directory, we have that. If you go to our website in the community page, you'll find all of our creators and then many of our VIPs all listed there for you to be able to find their contact information and reach out. And if you're thinking about the speakers from today, make sure you can fill out our connect form that's on the Summit resource page, right? We've got all of the speakers listed there and all of their freebies. You grab all of those. And then next is the connect form, where you can say, yes, I want to talk to Kelly and Terry some more. Yes, I want to talk to Angela some more, or boom, 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 everyone else who's speaking this week at the summit. Or you want to talk to me, find out more about the Gather community. What does it even mean to be a VIP? What is that even all about? All of those opportunities are there too. Clearly, you can tell from how we show up here, we are not a hard sell kind of community, right? We like to hang out together. We like to support each other. We want to support you. So if something catches your eye, just click the button. Let's have a conversation, because we want to be able to bring you to where you want to go. And that's how we do it, is by talking to each other and working together. So thank you, Paula, for putting that in the chat. Yes, the connect form. And then don't forget, we have a few events coming up at the bottom. Stephanie's workshop at the bottom is there. And what else is there? I forgot already. Anyway, you'll see it. Just scroll all the way down and do all the things. All right.
Roundtable.
The roundtable. Thank you.
And the VIP.
Yeah. I knew the VIP thing was there, but I already said that part. But the roundtable I didn't mention. So yeah, that's a really fun event too. Okay. It's time to do breakouts. We're going to do breakouts for Angela and for Kelly and Terry. Same thing as yesterday. If you were here, if you weren't here, or you missed the breakout situation, here's how it goes. When it says, breakout rooms are open, you get the little dialogue box thing. There's 2 lines that say Angela Wilson, join. Fearless Generations, join. Or I don't know what it's going to say. It's not going to say Fearless Generations. It's going to say either Kelly or Terry, because it's related to the names on Zoom, I think. But anyway, you can click the join button. If you have a problem taking care of that, if something's not working for you, just let us know whose breakout room you want to go to. 2 breakout rooms for you to choose from, just like if they had a table at the back of the room of an in-person event, so you can find out more, connect with other people who really resonated, give them some feedback, ask questions, whatever you need. We're going to do that for 10 minutes, and then we're going to take a break after that. So don't use this for your break. do the breakout rooms with your favorite ladies, and then we'll take a break after that when we come back. So Paula, let's open them up and let's go connect. And if you need support getting to the rooms, if you don't see the window, if something's not functioning, just call it out. Let us know where you want to go.
I need support.
Go ahead, where you want to go.
Where's my choices again?
Angela or Kelly and Terry?
Ooh, oh my God. I'll go to Angela.
Okay, here you go.
Can you send me to Kelly and Terry?
You got it, Christy. Bibiana, you're muted. How can I help you?
Can you
Oh.
send me to Angela to Tracy?
Yeah, and how about you, Venetia?
Terry and Kelly, please.
You got it. Sandy, how about you?
Terry and Kelly.
To Angela, please.
You got it.
Oh,
Sandy, you said Terry and Kelly?
Terry and Kelly. Yes.
Okay. Let's see. And Marissa and Chanel are both off camera. Marissa, do you want to go?
Yeah, can I go to Terry and Kelly?
You bet. Here you go. And Chanel, I know.
Hi, I'm sorry. I literally just walked back up to my desk. I had to go get my garbage can. It failed. So what are we doing right now?
Oh no, we're going to breakout rooms for Angela and for Kelly and Terry. And you get to choose one.
Oh, you choose.
Me choose.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna send you. So were you here for both of the ladies? You came right at the end of Angela, huh?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah.
gonna send you to her just so you can get to know her a little better.
Works for me. Thanks.
All right, here you go.